What emotions do you avoid in yourself and in others? What emotions do you avoid in yourself and in others? What would happen if you could accept the emotions you usually avoid? What would happen if you could accept the emotions you usually avoid? Who or what does your heart open to with no effort at all? Who or what does your heart open to with no effort at all? And finally, are you currently following your heart? And if not, what would you need to change for you to do so? Again, are you currently following your heart? And if not, what would need to change for you to do so? So if you're writing, take as long as you need to finish. And when you're ready, just take the next few moments to allow yourself to settle in to your seat, right where you are. And feel, you might even want to sway a little bit and try making some adjustments and see if you can find just the right place that you would like to settle in for your meditation. You can be sitting or lying down. You're even welcome to do this meditation standing or while finding some movements with your body, like dance, or with your hands. However you feel comfortable. At any time you want to shift to a new position, or you can pick up your computer or laptop or whatever device you're watching on and move to another room, feel free to do so. Just allow the process of settling in to continue. If you like, you can close your eyes. You can just let them rest comfortably somewhere ahead of you. Feel free to take a last stretch, or many, at any time during this meditation. Or just enjoy the pleasure of not needing to move at all. Allow this meditation to be a place where you can just be yourself with no demands at all. If you like, you can bring your gaze to that image of the Ace of Cups, either the one I'm presenting here or the one on the card in front of you. You have your own. Or you can just imagine this image in your mind's eye. Just take a few moments to notice how this image makes you feel. What energy do you sense expressed here? If you like, you could make the gesture of the hand in your card. If there's a hand in your ace, most Ace of Cups do have a hand in them. And see what that gesture feels like. You might want to imagine how it would feel to be the person in this image, making this gesture. Versus how it would feel to have this gesture made toward you. The Suit of Cups relates to the element of water. The element of water relates to the heart, to the intuition, the subconscious, and our emotional body. Water is known for its flexibility and adaptability. Like our emotions, it can take many forms. And a wide range of movement. From the movement of the waves of the ocean, or babbling brook. Or light snowfall. Or a loud thunderstorm. This month, we are exploring the aces as the seed of potential of their suit. The Ace of Cups, therefore, represents the potential of your heart, of your ability to empathize, your intuition in its seed form. Imagine if you could strip away all that your lived experience has done to shape how you allow yourself to desire and to feel. You could strip away all that you've been told about what you should want. What it's possible to have. What's good for you. What would it feel like to get in touch with that original core seed of your own true heart? Feels good. You can bring your hand or both hands to your heart now. And we're just going to do some work trying to get in touch with that. Thinking of this heart as that seed, the heart that beats within you, as that seed potential that's being expressed in this Ace of Cups in front of you now. The next few minutes, just enjoy. You might feel the movement of your breath. You might feel the beating of your heart. Sometimes without even putting your hand to your heart, you may feel that when you become very still. You will be able to feel your heart beating. So just take a few minutes and see if you can become very quiet. And listen. And feel. I'm going to do a little exercise some people, it's very clear what it feels like when your heart is open, or to have a lot of energy in this part of your body. Some people, it's not so clear. So we're going to do a little chakra work. If you're not familiar with the chakras, just think about it as energy that's resides in different parts of your body. And this came from a friend who once expressed to me how open their heart was. And I asked them how they knew. And they said, well, it's between the head and between your sacral chakra. And if you find the place right in the middle, there's your heart. And so I started to exercise with that. So if you can bring to mind something that really puts you in your head, maybe it's solving a puzzle, or maybe it's when you're worried about something. Most people do know what it's like to just get stuck in their thoughts. We don't want to get stuck in a thought right now. But if you can bring up that feeling, maybe bring a few things to mind of just what it is to get the energy moving up here and concentrated. Maybe in your third eye chakra. Usually when you're trying to figure something out. And then if you can shift, I'll give you a minute to find it. It doesn't necessarily have to be thinking energy. It might just be anything related to the upper chakras. Maybe even the feeling of being spaced out. Or distracted. And when you feel like you have that, just put that feeling aside for a moment and bring to mind something that helps you connect with your lower chakras. Most people, the most obvious is connecting with the sexual region. Most people know when they feel that area is activated in certain moments. And again, we don't want to go too deep into a fantasy, but just bringing that to mind, just the sacral feeling of having that part of the body activated. It can also be your root chakra, what makes you feel very grounded. Now, this isn't as easy for most people. But if you do have a sense of just what makes you feel very earthy and grounded, that work too. Just take a moment to bring memory or a few things to mind that might help to waken up those chakras right now, just to remember that feeling. And when you feel like you have that, see if you can start going back and forth between those two energy centers, simply by activating one and then the other. Bringing yourself to that activated mind space. It tends to get us disconnected from the body. And then back to the lower chakras. It can sometimes get us disconnected from logical and rational decision making. I'm going to give you 4 or 5 minutes just to play with that. If you do nothing else than to bring to mind those mind ideas and memories, and then shift back to the lower chakra memories and go back and forth. That's enough. But while you're doing that, see if you start to notice that the heart begins to awaken in between, that you are crossing that energy point as you move from one to the other. And if you do start to feel that activation becoming stronger in your heart center, you can settle right there and just enjoy that sense of openness. That sense of energy. Remembering that you are in the private space of your own, and it's safe to have your heart be open and to allow whatever that means for you. It might mean that some emotions you haven't wanted to deal with might start to come up. If you find any sadness in there and you, or any other feeling that you feel like you need to react to, don't feel that you need to hold yourself back, because everyone's on mute. You can even speak to that. It feels good. You might want to have your hand on your heart as a way of comforting yourself and giving yourself a sense of comfort that you're there to support it. That you're there for you. That's why you've made the space and the time to meditate. And if it feels right, this might be a good time to ask the question to your heart. What is it you want right now? What is it you need from me right now? What do you want to tell me? Where should we be going? Any questions you think your heart might have an answer to? And just listen to see if any answers arise. And we pull the Ace of Cups or any ace really in the reading. Important to remember this is potential. Whatever it inspires, it hasn't happened yet. It's not a promise. It's not written in stone what could come. What the Ace of Cups is telling us about. Pure potential with this water element of our emotional field and our intuition. It's possibility. Anytime an ace comes up, it's a good time to ask questions. This is a good time to make the future. Decide what we want because we have the materials that we need. As we get ready to transition out of this meditation, just take a moment to recount and remember any part of this that you'd like to take with you to the rest of your day or the rest of your week. Maybe there was an insight that you want to remember for later. Maybe it's just a feeling that you had during this meditation. See if you can place all of that into this card. So if you want to reconnect with that again, pull the Ace of Cups out of your deck. When you are ready to transition, take as much time as you need. You might want to just start slowly by finding some small movements in your fingers and toes. You might want to just start to deepen your breath a little bit. Eyes are closed, you might want to just flutter them open a little bit at first. Start getting used to the light in your room. You might want to enjoy a few good stretches. When everyone's ready, we'll meet for a short discussion.